Why do some COVID patients continue to suffer from symptoms months after being infected? A 4-year, $1 billion government study has been launched to find out, hoping to determine why so-called long haulers are still suffering and how best to help them.
My symptoms are like constantly evolving, and I get the same symptoms again and again. And it's like one will kind of disappear and then others will come up.
The National Institutes of Health wants to find out why survivor Stephanie Condra and millions of others are still battling persistent problems.
The symptoms of this include fatigue, shortness of breath, sleep disorders, fevers, GI symptoms, anxiety and depression, and what some have been referring to as brain fog, or an inability or a difficulty in concentrating or focusing.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says a recent study suggests it's alarmingly common.
Approximately 30% of the patients who were enrolled at the University of Washington reported persistent symptoms for as long as 9 months after illness. Fatigue was the most common reported symptom, and persistent symptoms were reported by 1/3 of outpatients with mild disease.
Many long haulers were never sick enough to be hospitalized.
We're like rubber bands. We just want to kind of snap back to the way that we were before. So I think that has been one of the biggest challenges.
Dr. Dana McCarthy works with those suffering from post-COVID symptoms. She says a majority are in their 20s to 50s.
We are seeing patients get better. It's just glacially slow.
A new study will try to answer many nagging questions, including what makes certain people vulnerable to suffering long-haul symptoms? What's the underlying biological cause of these prolonged symptoms? And what's the best way to treat them?
It's very difficult to treat something when you don't know what the target of the treatment is.
And researchers also hope to determine if COVID-19 is triggering changes in the body that increase the risk of chronic heart or brain disorders down the road.